Here is a quick update on the four broadcast soaps and their ratings performance for the week of July 20th, 2026. Now, Days of Our Lives is not included in this information because Days of Our Lives is on a streaming platform, Peacock, so their data as far as streams is not readily available to the public. But Y&R, Bold and Beautiful, GH, and Beyond the Gates, we do have that information. So again, this is for the week of July 20th, 2026. So in total viewers, the rankings remain the same. Young and the Restless comes in at number one with just over 3.2 million viewers. That's an increase week to week of 12,000 viewers and an increase versus last year of 157,000 viewers. Really, impressive. They've announced a writing change, so we'll see how the new writers are able to grow these numbers. But it's possible. But their Y&R has been on a good run, with Bold and the Beautiful coming in number two. Coming in second. Total viewers, just over 2.8 million viewers. They were down 3,000 viewers week to week. And I think this kind of tracks with some decreases from the previous ratings period where they were down about 3,000 viewers week to week. So, something to, again, not a significant number of viewers, but again, when the trend line starts going down, it's something of, week to, and you're paying attention because this is the current stories that they're telling. So if the trend line is continuing to go down, then it's something that they need to pay attention to. The good news is that year over year, Bold and the Beautiful is up 312,000 viewers. So that is really impressive, again, for the summer. And the caveat I will say, again, I said it the last time I did a ratings video, is that it is summer. So even those week-to-week decreases, there is a chance that some of it is seasonality with people going on vacation, getting their last vacations in before back to school. There are college kids who are going to be going back to school in the next week, this week and next. So, even though, again, 3,000 viewers isn't like catastrophic, it's the trend line. You just want to make sure that the trend line isn't continuing to go down. But my expectation is once we get into the fall, this will stabilize. These numbers will stabilize. Their week-to-week numbers will stabilize a little bit. Over at General Hospital, they had just over 1.8 million total viewers. Now, these are some numbers to pay attention to for ABC and the folks at GH. Week to week, they were down 169,000 viewers. Year to year, they were down 8,000 viewers. That's pretty significant. I know GH has been coming off some big stories. They've had two big climaxes over the past couple of weeks with some, two big story climaxes. So over the past month. So, some drop off is expected, but 169,000 week to week that's pretty problematic. They'll have to pay attention to it. Over at Beyond the Gates, we'll have to have, pay attention to some things too. It's hard for them to make adjustments because they film 4 months ahead. They're done filming for year two. So there's really nothing that they can really do. It's really hard for them to make any real-time adjustments. So, they delivered about 1.6 million, just a little over 1.6 million viewers. They were down again, but this time, the last time, I think last week when I did this, they were down week to week about 6,000 total viewers. This week versus last week, they're down 38,000 viewers. That's something to pay attention to. That's something they really need to pay attention to. The good news for them is that year over year, They are up 64,000 viewers, which is impressive for a soap in its second year. Again, Beyond the Gates is competing against itself now. It's no longer competing against the performance of The Talk. We can look at, previous performances of The Talk just to see how much Beyond the Gates has been improving the time period versus, 2024, 2023. But the fact of the matter is Beyond the Gates is now competing against its own performance. And so being up 64,000 viewers, total viewers year over year is a good sign. The more troubling thing is that the show seems to be losing some viewers week to week. That indicates a storytelling issue as far as the viewers that are there, the viewers that are tuning in. Something's not keeping them. Something's not bringing them back. So just something that they'll have to pay attention to. Again, they're done with year 2. So there's not a whole lot that they can do about this, but it's something for them to keep in the back of their head for year 3. With household ratings, listen, advertisers and networks, advertisers don't buy households, they buy demos. So, the old saying is households don't watch television, demos do. But we'll just go through it really quickly. Young and the Restless delivered a 2.1 household rating. It was unchanged from the previous week, up about 20% year over year. Bold and the Beautiful delivered a 1.8 household rating, flat from the previous week. Flat is always good when we're not, it's you either want to be here or here. You just don't want to be going down. And they're also up about 20% year over year. General Hospital delivered a 1.2 household rating, is down about 10% versus the previous week, and flat year to year. And Beyond the Gates delivered a 1.1 household rating, flat week to week, and up about 10% from the previous year. So in the household numbers, nothing too alarming there. In women 18 to 49, Young and the Restless delivered a 0.20, down about 3% week to week, and down 6% year to year. Bold and the Beautiful delivered a 0.2 rating in 18 to 49, and women 18 to 49 down about 2% year to year and week to week. General Hospital, 2% is not, nothing to light your, no hair on fire moment. But again, you just want to pay attention to the trend lines. General Hospital delivered a 0.17 in women to 18 to 49, up about 1% week to week, down 2% year to year. And Beyond the Gates delivered a 0.15, flat from the previous week, and down about 5% in women 18 to 49 from the previous year. Something to pay attention to. Those younger demos, just want to, for them to pay attention to. The impressive thing about the Beyond the Gates number at a 0.15 in women 18 to 49, General Hospital is at a 0.17. So Beyond the Gates is nipping at General Hospital's heels, and not that far behind, Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful. Over at with women 25 to 54, Young and the Restless delivered a 0.32 rating, down about 4% week to week and 11% year to year. The year to year number, 11%, is, is something to look at. The new writers will need to pay attention to that. Bold and the Beautiful delivered a 0.27 rating in women 25 to 54, down 4% week to week, down 10% year to year. Again, something that the show and the network will need to pay attention to. General Hospital delivered a 0.25 in women 25 to 54, up about 1% week to week, down 7% year over year. This could be, I'm not quite, it could be a seasonality thing again. with, even though they were up in total viewers, remember that's everybody. So these are demo specific total viewers. So, and we're not seeing, what the male number is. We're not seeing like what the over 54 number is, which I think is probably what is helping those total viewer numbers, and being in the, that are in the positive. But, both Beyond the Gates delivered a 0.21, and that was down about 3% week over week and 11% year over year. So CBS definitely has something to look at with their daytime lineup with women 25 to 54. What's also curious is Beyond the Gates tends to beat General Hospital in women 25 to 54. Usually it tends to skew a little older than General Hospital with women 25-54. General Hospital beat Beyond the Gates this week. So, I do think that, Beyond the Gates, the folks at CBS and Beyond the Gates just need to, take a look at the stories they were airing over the past few weeks and see how that, how that impacted this ratings period's performance. So, not terrible, nothing to, again, no hair on fire moments. The Beyond the Gates 68,000 total viewers is still, I say, concerning. 38,000 viewers is concerning. General Hospital's 169 being minus 169 is concerning. Bold and the Beautiful being down 3,000 about 2 weeks in a row. Again, just watching the trend line there. But I think, again, we're now in August. This is for the week of July 20th. But again, we're going to see the numbers might be a little sporadic just because, again, viewing habits are changing, shifting. Kids are going back to school. Parents are getting their kids ready to go back to school. They're taking their last minute vacations. So, take it all with a grain of salt. As I said, after Labor Day, these numbers should even out a little bit, and there should be a little bit more consistency. So we'll continue to talk about the ratings for the rest of July and, into August. But again, my expectation is we'll see a more consistent, especially week to week, we'll see more consistent week to week performances after Labor Day when things settle down a bit in people's lives. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys later.